That's awesome, man. I hope you do good. But yeah, man, this is a proper start of the love story now, where she's thinking back to to a person, like, you know, you'll see what I mean, man, but still. So the ocean took me in its arms and cradled me. So yeah, as she was going down into the depths, now she feels like the ocean is cradling her so gentle, holding her heart so gently, calming her soul away from everything, the darkness that she had, and she's been able to just embrace life, being able to just embrace the world. And embrace her thoughts for the first time, able to see clearly for the first time, away from the darkness, away from the cabaret, just silence in her mind. And so she can finally truly think for that first time in such a long time, that I may never make my last return. Well, perhaps the night is where I'm meant to be. Like, yeah, maybe the night is where I'm meant to be, maybe this is where I'm meant to be, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but so cold and yet so warm, numb and far away from harm. The distant lights and a dancing glow so far away from me. The distant lights is the sun shining into the water, and then, like, she feels so cold and yet she's so far away from home, she's frozen on the water, just floating at the very bottom, just going endlessly, or I don't know whether she can actually leave that space where she is, or she's just trapped, basically crushed at the bottom of the current. You know, just the pressure of the water and gravity and all that pressing you down. Could you forgive me? All I've said and done you wrong, though I'm blind, beneath the surface I can see. So she's beginning to see that the cabaret, it may not be the best thing, it may not be the thing for everybody trapped there. Maybe she doesn't need this anymore, maybe she needs to let people go, maybe she needs to allow the soul suffering to escape, to allow people to go that way. I glow, though I cannot be sure it's you. Another time, I would have stayed and let you burn my wings and let me fall. So yeah, like, another time when she wasn't going through all of this, she would have just allowed herself to become, like, to allow herself to love once again, allow herself to go towards that place once again. I'd worship you and give you all of me. I would have followed you wherever you would lead. Like, yeah, so yeah, she's thinking back, or thinking to a person, which I'm assuming is the one in the 100 days, and that type of person there, where everything is just going to, like, her mind's going to the things that's most important to her, rather than everything else that we've had throughout the album, where this is now going into the place where she's choosing between the cabaret and life and death, and allowing her mind to become clear. She's going to make a decision very, very soon, I'm going to say, so let's keep going. Yeah, she's thinking back to the second album, which is kind of crazy though. But before I let the song finish out, so this is the first album, right? She's speaking about the second album now, but the second album wasn't a thing when this was written. Just shows how far in advance she was thinking. That just to be like, so there's things in Solveig or Solveig that you can really see throughout Emerald Seas, like this for instance. Another night, the ocean was an Emerald Sea, because that's how she viewed it before she became what she is now. She was human once, as we all know. So, like, the Emerald Sea was where she was still human, where she went to the Drown of Worlds and to everything else in there as well. But yeah. Which way? Yeah, that's what we got to. I will pledge my final breath to your name, here at the end of my days. Pray you won't deny my chance to repay. Another time, another life, so, like, she had things and people she cared about when she was human, and it's only once she's been drowning in the depths that she can finally think back to the time before this, before her transformation, before she found the island with the Fountain of Youth on it and escaped from the Drowner of Worlds, its acid, like, burning her up. Her only chance to survive was to take on the role of the Cabaret of Dreams, which is where we are now. And now she's wondering and thinking about the times where she could have been with that person, where she had to go away from this life, where she could have escaped from where she is now, but she didn't. Another night, the ocean was an Emerald Sea that glitters in my mind from time to time. It's an old wound that remained a distant memory, so the wound is the love, that's what it is. The love is literally a wound in our soul, which is so buried, so deep, that it takes silence in order to bring it out. It takes that drowning, that pressure in order to bring it out. Though not a day goes by that I don't think of what has come to pass, and how a flame should never burn this long. Like, the flame is the flame for that person, that love, that person we see it, and we'll see in God's debauchery, and in that kind of way where she keeps thinking back and back and back about it. The more she suffers, the more she thinks about it, and the more it begins to ease her up inside. And mine was gone the moment that I kissed those waves. So, like, her flame for life was gone, but her flame for love was still going strong even after her life was gone and frozen. Her flame for love was still there at that time, and it just shows the crazy amount of lyricism that Adrian puts into every single Seven Spires album and song, but it shows the passion still there, that there's still that slight love story, even if this is more like a creature type stuff with most of this album, but still interesting and different from Emerald Seas and different from Gods of Debauchery, which is so sick.